Good morning everyone, and yes it is morning, it's not actually, it's afternoon. Good afternoon everyone. Today is Saturday the 25th of September. There's no flying at the field because it's closed for maintenance. I've done my chores around the house, and if anyone says what chores, I'll say cheers, mine's a pint. Oh yes, welcome to my channel, I hope you're all safe and well. Decided to build the Arrows Hobby BAE Hawk. Not much else to say, except let's get this thing together and see what comes out at the end. I have put black markings, as you can see, on the cockpit. Because it used to be just all grey and I didn't like that, so I've just put some lines over the mouldings that they had there. That's about the only thing I have done on this. It is, as I've said, Arrows Hobby. It does not come with a vector gyro. Let's get the build underway. And as usual with builds, I always look at the instructions. Just taking the manual away, and as you can see, there are basically only 3 parts. Well, they're saying the first thing you should do is stick the main wing on, which I don't want to do. I'm going to stick the tail feathers on. Basically, it's insert the horizontal stabiliser to the rear of the fuselage using foam safe glue. And that's it. Let's get that done. Something I have noticed is this is very smooth indeed. Give the glue a better chance. I'm just going to rough it up a bit. Right, you look, come here. No, sorry, I'm in one of those moods. I'm just going to rough it up a bit with my scalpel blade. The other thing I've noticed is that this has blue paint on it, and so does this, and these do actually contact. I'm just going to give them a little, not much, but just a little bit on the inside here, scrape that away. I'm using foam tack, this is fine. The next job is to attach the wings. A couple of things here. These are tiny little holes for the screws that go into plastic, and I have heard that they don't necessarily line up well. That this could be the downside of this assembly. We have the ailerons already connected to the Y lead. They're already connected to the servos, push rod's already on. That's definitely a plus. These are the tiny little screws we've got to use. At first feel they felt okay, but they are tiny screws and they've still got quite a way to go. I won't be able to do this on camera, so I'm going to take the plane away, cradle it in my arms and gently see how the screws go in. I'll be right back. I had absolutely no problem at all screwing these 4 screws in. However, I would just like to say that when you push your screwdriver down the hole, it won't necessarily be centered in the hole. You might have to angle it slightly in order to get a bite on the head of the screw. But apart from that, there was no slippage on the screwdriver and screw. It went in very firmly. It's together. Yeah, great. There is a tiny little ridge here, but I'm not worried about that. You can't compress that down any further. That is built. I tell a lie. That's the Arrows Hobby BEA Hawk assembled. We have to measure the centre of gravity, mark it. We have to mark it on the top of the wing because it's a low bottom wing aircraft. So when we measure the centre of gravity, we're doing it like this. So there will be some marks on the top here, but I don't mind about that. I've also decided the receiver is going up here. This is where on other aircraft, i.e. if you were to buy this in America, this is where the vector system would sit. And what they've done, they've stripped it out of the box, believe it or not. It comes in a plastic box. And they've stripped it out and all you get here is the circuit board. But that's a thick bit of foam there. And also the canopy's hollow. So I can place that over there with an AR410 here, because that's all you need is a 4-channel for this. And these can come back to here, leaving all this space for the battery. Talking about batteries, if you watch my unboxing video for this one, you'll notice the specifications are for a 3S 1300 30C. Well, I've got these. They are 3S, they are 1300, and they are 25 to 50C. These are actually for my TTX. I have 2 of these, so I will be marking in here where this needs to go to get the correct centre of gravity. I also have an 1800 25C. This I will be using as well. I'll mark that out in here if I can get the CMG right. And then finally I have a Nanotech 2.2 70C. This I actually use in my Viper, the 50mm Viper. I will see if I can get this in here to balance out. This is what we'll be using, an AR410, and I'll be positioning it here to keep it out of the way of the battery bay, so if I need to move a battery further back or as far forward as I need to, I can. Then are centered. I'll check them for level. You need to check them for level, and as you can probably see, this one is slightly down where this one is okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to loosen here and mess with these rods until they're both level, knowing that the servo is centered. quick as that. Okay, they're now level. Brilliant. We've now got to do the same with the ailerons. Now the ailerons are going to be quite awkward to change if I need to, because they've got these covers already on, they're already screwed in. It's going to be quite interesting. Right, they're now centred. Now the Arrows Hobby did a sterling job on those. These are dead level. Absolutely superb. Minor change on the tail, on the elevator. Ailerons, perfect. Now we know they're all level, they're all set up correctly. We can put the receiver in. Throttle goes to channel 1, aileron to channel 2, elevator to channel 3. I'll get that done now. Here's something that's not very clever, Arrows Hobby. The servo for the elevator is here, the arm comes out this way. The wire for it also comes out this way under the push rods, which means you have to bring it around over the push rods for it to fit. What you've got to do now, you've got to feed that back up and over this side. That is not a good design at all. That servo should have been swapped round the other way, so this was at this end with the arm this way, so the cable would have just come straight out here. Yes, they'd have to use longer rods. If they had rods that were 1 inch longer, you wouldn't have to mess around with the wiring. Now it might just be mine, but that I don't like. As long as I keep it flexible, it should be okay though. So let's now put the elevator, put that out of the way. Let's put the elevator into channel 3. Right, and then I can have that like that. And it's out of the way. That's good. Okay. So far, so good. This is weird as well, the fact that this comes up here and not through here. And there is a hole, there is a service hole, so that could have been threaded at a lower level, but I'll have to do up here. Let's just put that there for now. And I just want to bind. I'm not bothered about what battery and CMG and stuff like that right now. I just want to get the aircraft bound to my DX9. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Right aileron. Incorrect. We have to reverse the ailerons. Servo setup. Reverse. Ailerons. Right aileron, correct. Left aileron, correct. Elevator up, incorrect. So we have to reverse the elevator. Up, down, aileron right, aileron left, elevator up, elevator down. There is no rudder. Throttle cut is on. Throttle does not work, correct.
Throttle cut off. Throttle cut on.
All good to go. Timer. The default to 5. I'm going to drop it to 2 for the maiden. And then we'll check the batteries out accordingly. So the next job is basically to attach this receiver . Something I didn't mention when I did the unboxing is this tip is plastic, it's hard plastic, as are the edges of the air ducts. The fins here are plastic. This is a cheat hole actually, I think. Must be a cheat hole because it goes straight into the fan. Perfectly clear channel through to the fan. I'm very impressed with that. Tiny little hole here. I expect that to feed whatever I've got up here. Yeah, it comes in immediately underneath the battery. Alright. Centre of gravity is from the point where the wing joins the fuselage, and it's measured back 65 to 75. That's quite a range. So I'm going to go in at 70. I'm going to stick it in at 70. So this first little mark here is a mistake. I was a bit short, so I've measured a couple of more times. I've put my 70 mark there. See the cocktail stick sticking out. And I've also put it on the other side, measuring it, and they are looking down on it and gauging it. They're about right. Well, I mucked that up a little bit. I put too many holes in. Never mind. I put a hole here when I should have brought it out further. Same here. First of all, I put that hole in, which was too short. Then I put that one in, and I should have just put a tiny little mark because it's too close into the fuselage, so I moved that out. But these are now glued, and they are my CG points at 70, which is halfway between what the manual is recommending. Now I put those lumps, I make those lumps by putting cocktail sticks glued in there, so I can just turn it upside down and feel it without having to sort of do this and do this as you've seen me do on other videos. That's good. It's not balanced there, but it's good. Wow. I literally put the battery there saying, I wonder what happens if I put it level with the tray. It's a bit short actually there. It's just there level with the tray. Put this on. Yeah, it gets a bit, the strap's not done right. Turned it upside down, put my fingers on it, and voila, it is perfect. Perfect. Maybe it could go a little forward if you like them a little nose heavy. If I bring it back to 65, it's still level, and if I put it back to 75, it's slightly nose down. That is bang on 70. That is a shocker. That's the first centre of gravity I've had done in literally 4 seconds. Woohoo! That's a win. This is all ready to go now. I could use that 1300. But I'm going to mess around a little bit more. I'm going to see if I can get an 1800 in it, and also a 2200. I fly the Arrows Viper on 2200. That's great. I don't even have to mark it. I know if I start exactly where the battery board starts, which is there, so it goes there, finishes here, perfect CG. So that's on a 1.3 1300 mAh, 25 to 50 C discharge, 3S. Excellent. And do you know what? It's probably better because it is slightly nose down at 70 and it's dead level at 65. What an amazing centre of gravity setup. So that battery can just go there when I use a 2200. Cables can come around. It doesn't have a strap there, but I'll put Velcro all the way along this part here. So I can just, and it's got a little ridge here. I don't know if you saw that. That's what made me think about it. It's got a raised ridge there. So if I can Velcro a 2200 in there, and that's where it was, then I'm laughing. Look at that. Absolutely superb. Just just need a bit of Velcro in this part. I'll leave these clear. I am very happy. Tiny bit of foam hacking. Who gives a about that? Let's see if I can angle it a bit so you get a better picture. One Arrows Hobby BEA Hawk. So thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay well. Come and join me on another video. And the next video up will be the Arrows Hobby T33 assembly. Cheers.